What if I told you that everything you've been taught about building wealth is subtly wrong? We're told to climb the ladder, to chase the next promotion, to hustle harder, to earn more. And so we do. We run on a hamster wheel, fueled by caffeine and ambition, collecting paychecks that seem to vanish into thin air. We fill our homes with things, our calendars with obligations, and our minds with a constant low-grade hum of financial anxiety. We're doing everything we're supposed to do, yet the finish line of financial freedom seems to move further away with every step we take. But what if the secret isn't about addition? What if the path to true, lasting wealth, the kind that buys you freedom, not just fancy objects, is found not in acquiring more, but in strategically wanting, needing, and managing less? This is the core philosophy of financial minimalism. It's not about deprivation or living in a stark white room with one chair. It's about building a life of intention, where every dollar you spend and every minute you trade is a conscious choice that moves you closer to your ultimate goal. It's about designing a system for your life that makes wealth accumulation the inevitable byproduct of living well. Over the years, I've chiseled this philosophy into a set of 7 powerful rules. These aren't just tips, they are a code, a framework that has allowed me to detach from the consumerist rat race and build a life of genuine abundance and peace of mind. And today, I'm going to share that entire framework with you. Forget everything you think you know, and let's build your fortress of financial freedom, one intentional decision at a time. Our first rule is perhaps the most powerful tool for reclaiming your financial agency. I call it the 30-day pause. Think about the last time you made an impulse purchase online. You saw something, a new gadget, a stylish jacket, a piece of home decor that promised to complete your living room. In that moment, a powerful cocktail of dopamine and desire floods your brain. The marketing is perfect, the add to cart button is glowing, and your mind is already fantasizing about how much better life will be with this one new thing. So you click, and for a fleeting moment, you feel a rush of excitement. But what happens a week later, a month later? More often than not, the novelty fades. The object becomes just another piece of clutter, and you're left with a slightly lighter bank account and the same underlying desires you had before. The 30-day pause is your defense mechanism against this cycle. The rule is simple. For any non-essential purchase over a certain threshold, say $50 or $100, you decide your own number, you don't buy it. Instead, you write it down on a list and you wait for 30 days. This isn't about telling yourself no. The human brain hates being told no. It feels like deprivation. Instead, you're telling yourself, not yet. You are giving your rational brain time to catch up with your emotional, impulsive brain. In that 30-day window, the magic happens. The manufactured urgency of the sale disappears. The clever marketing fades from your memory. You get to observe your life without that item, and you ask yourself a series of powerful questions. Did I truly need it? Did I even think about it after the first week? Has my life been meaningfully worse without it? 9 times out of 10, the answer will be a resounding no. The desire will have evaporated completely. You'll look at the item on your list and feel a sense of relief, not longing. You just saved yourself not only money, but the cognitive load of owning another thing. For that 1 time out of 10 where the desire persists, where you genuinely believe the purchase will add significant value to your life, you can now make that purchase with confidence and without guilt. You've transformed an emotional impulse into a rational, intentional decision. This single rule will save you thousands of dollars a year, but more importantly, it will train your mind to separate genuine need from fleeting want. This leads us directly to the second rule, which expands this idea from just purchases to your entire life. This is the hell yes filter. Our most valuable assets aren't our money or our possessions. They are our time and our energy. Yet we give them away so cheaply. We say yes to social events we don't want to attend, to projects at work that don't excite us, and to small purchases that give us a lukewarm feeling of meh. Every yes to something that isn't aligned with our values is an implicit no to something that is. The hell yes filter, a concept popularized by entrepreneur Derek Sivers, is your guardian for these precious resources. The rule is this: if your gut reaction to an opportunity, a purchase, or a commitment isn't a clear and resounding hell yes, then it must be a no. Think about it. A friend invites you on an expensive weekend trip. Your first thought isn't excitement, but a quiet dread about the cost and the time away from a project you love. It's not a hell yes, so it's a no. Your boss offers you a new responsibility that comes with a tiny pay bump, but a massive increase in stress. It's not a hell yes, so you politely decline or negotiate a better arrangement. You're browsing in a store and see a shirt that is fine. It's on sale, it's okay, but it doesn't make you feel fantastic. It's not a hell yes, so you put it back. Applying this filter is liberating. It eliminates decision fatigue and fills your life and your bank account with only the things that truly matter. Financially, this means you stop bleeding money on mediocre experiences and things you feel obligated to buy. Your spending becomes concentrated on the things that bring you immense joy and value. Professionally, it means you focus your energy on the work that has the highest potential for growth and fulfillment, which inevitably leads to greater income. It's the ultimate application of the power of less. By saying no to the 100 good enoughs, you create the space, time, and capital for the few truly great things. Now, while the first two rules are about strategic elimination, the third rule is about strategic spending. This isn't about spending less, it's about spending smarter. I call it the multiplier investment. Most people view spending as a one-way street. Money goes out and you get a product or service in return. But a financial minimalist sees spending in two categories: depreciating expenses and multiplier investments. A depreciating expense is a new car that loses value the second you drive it off the lot, or a trendy gadget that will be obsolete in a year. A multiplier investment, on the other hand, is an expense that promises to return more value in money, time, or well-being than its initial cost. The primary target for these investments are yourself. Investing in yourself is the single highest return activity. Think of it like this. A $1,000 investment in a stock might, if you're lucky, become $1,100 in a year. But a $1,000 investment in a course that teaches you a high-demand skill could increase your earning potential by $10,000 or more every single year for the rest of your career. That's an infinite return. Multiplier investments can be a certification in your field, a book that fundamentally changes your mindset, a high-quality mattress that gives you the restorative sleep needed to perform at your peak, or a gym membership that boosts your energy and reduces future medical bills. It can even be the right tool for your trade. For a writer, it's a comfortable keyboard. For a filmmaker, it's a reliable camera. These aren't frivolous expenses. They are investments in your capacity to create, to earn, and to live well. When you're faced with a spending decision, ask yourself, is this a depleting expense or a multiplier investment? Will this purchase drain my resources, or will it multiply my ability to create, to earn, and to live well? Shifting your spending from the former to the latter is how you turn your expenses into assets. This philosophy of prioritizing value naturally brings us to rule number 4, the one-time cry rule. We've all been there. You need a new pair of winter boots. You could buy the high-quality, durable pair for $200, or you could opt for the cheap, fast fashion version for $40. Your budget-conscious brain screams to go for the cheaper option. It's a bargain, it says. So you buy the cheap $40 boots. They look okay for a few weeks, but then the first real rainstorm hits. The sole peels away, your feet are soaked, and you're miserable. Now you have to go buy another pair. Maybe you cheap out again. Over the next 5 years, you end up buying 4 pairs of cheap boots, spending $160 and dealing with the constant hassle and discomfort. Meanwhile, the person who bought the $200 pair is still wearing them, warm and dry, 10 years later. This is the essence of the one-time cry rule, a variation of the old saying, buy it nice or buy it twice. With items that you use frequently and rely on performance or durability, it is almost always more financially prudent to buy the best quality you can afford and cry once at the price tag. This applies to your mattress, your office chair, your primary computer, your kitchen knives, your winter coat. These are the workhorses of your life. Buying quality here isn't about luxury, it's about long-term economics and peace of mind. Cheap items cost you more than just their replacement price. They cost you time in repairs and reshopping. They cost you mental energy and frustration. They can even fail you when you need them most. By investing in quality, you are buying durability, reliability, and fewer future decisions. You cry once when you hand over the money, and then you enjoy the benefits for years or even decades. The financial minimalist understands that true frugality isn't about finding the cheapest price, it's about finding the best long-term value. Now, rules 1 through 4 are about changing your mindset and your decision-making process. But for a system to be truly effective, it needs to run on its own. This is where rule number 5 comes in, and it's the engine of automated wealth building. Become the invisible architect. The most successful financial systems are the ones that remove you, your weak willpower, your fleeting motivations, your tendency to procrastinate, from the equation as much as possible. You need to become the architect of a system that automatically directs your money where it needs to go, without you having to think about it. This starts with the golden rule of personal finance: pay yourself first. But we're going to automate it. Before you pay your rent, before you buy your groceries, before you even have a chance to see that money in your checking account, you set up an automatic transfer. The day your paycheck hits, a predetermined amount is automatically moved from your checking account into your investment account, your high-yield savings account for a down payment, or your retirement fund. This is not saving what's left after spending. This is spending what's left after saving. It's a profound psychological shift. The money for your future is treated as a non-negotiable bill, just like your rent or your electricity. You build your lifestyle around what's left, not the other way around. Become an architect. Design the pipes and plumbing of your financial life. Automate your savings. Automate your investments. Automate your bill payments. The goal is to make the right financial decisions the default easy path. By creating this invisible architecture, you eliminate the constant mental battle of, should I save more this month? The system does it for you. You are building your wealth in the background, on autopilot, freeing up your mental energy to focus on living your life. So far, we've focused on managing the money you already have. But what about creating more? Rule number 6 is a powerful productivity framework that can be directly applied to building new income streams. I call it the 90-day sprint. Many of us have a dream of starting a side hustle, a blog, a YouTube channel, a freelance service, an Etsy shop. We get excited, we brainstorm ideas, but then we dabble. We work on it for a few hours one weekend, then get busy and forget about it for 3 weeks. The initial momentum dies, and the project fizzles out before it ever has a chance to generate a single dollar. The 90-day sprint, inspired by a rule from author Robin Sharma, is the antidote to dabbling. The rule is this: for the first 90 days of a new important project, you commit to spending the first 90 minutes of your day working on that project. No excuses, no interruptions. Imagine you want to become a freelance writer. For 90 days, before you check your email, before you scroll through social media, you spend 90 minutes writing samples, building a portfolio, and pitching your first clients. At the end of that 90-day period, you will have dedicated over 135 hours of focused work to your new venture. You're no longer a dabbler, you're a professional in training. You've built a foundation. You've likely landed your first paying clients. You have created an asset, a new income stream from scratch. This rule works because it leverages the power of consistency and focused effort to overcome the initial inertia that kills most great ideas. It transforms a vague dream into a concrete daily practice. By applying this sprint to an income-generating project, you are directly investing your time to build an asset that can accelerate your journey to freedom exponentially. This brings us to our final and most profound rule. It's the one that ties everything together and gives all the other rules their purpose. Rule number 7 is define your finish line. Ask most people what their financial goal is, and they'll give you a vague answer like to be rich or to be a millionaire. These goals are meaningless because they're not defined. How much is rich? What does being a millionaire actually allow you to do? Without a clear target, you are running a race with no finish line, and you are guaranteed to burn out. You need to calculate your enough number. This is the amount of money you need invested to generate enough passive income to cover your ideal lifestyle forever, without you ever having to work for money again. This requires you to do some deep, intentional thinking. What does your ideal life actually look like? Not the life you see on Instagram, but your life. What would a perfect Tuesday look like for you? Where do you live? What do you eat? What hobbies do you pursue? How often do you travel? Get specific, write it all down, and add up the monthly cost of that ideal yet realistic lifestyle. Let's say it comes out to $5,000 a month or $60,000 a year. Using a common financial planning guideline called the 4% rule, you can calculate your enough number. You simply multiply your annual income by 25. So 60,000 times 25 is 1.5 million. Suddenly, your goal is no longer a fuzzy be rich. It's accumulate $1.5 million in income-producing assets. This number is your finish line. It is your North Star. This clarity is the most powerful motivator in the world. Every dollar you save by using the 30-day pause, every dollar you earn from your 90-day sprint is a concrete step toward that tangible goal. It stops you from endlessly moving the goalposts. When you know what enough is, you're freed from the mindless pursuit of more. You can make conscious decisions about your career and your life, knowing exactly what you're working toward. This isn't about limiting your potential, it's about defining what true freedom looks like for you. So there they are, the 7 rules of financial minimalism. The 30-day pause, the hell yes filter, the multiplier investment, the one-time cry rule, becoming the invisible architect, the 90-day sprint, and defining your finish line. Individually, each rule is a powerful tactic, but together they form a holistic philosophy for life. They're a system for building wealth, not through restriction, but through intention. It's about a fundamental shift from being a passive consumer to being the active, deliberate designer of your own life. The path to financial freedom is not found in a bigger paycheck or fancier car. It's found in the quiet moments of decision. It's found in the power of the pause, the clarity of a hell yes, and the wisdom to know what is truly enough. Your freedom is waiting for you, and it doesn't begin when you have more. It begins the moment you decide to take control of what you already have.